Well, hello there. It's nice to see you again on this Sunday evening, and tonight we are looking at Workhorse again. So, of course, we've looked at Workhorse many times in the past, really, but tonight we're doing it in a level of depth which has not been seen before on the channel. We're covering everything that you need to know in as short of a time as possible, and if that does sound good to you, please do leave that like and then just subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000, and honestly, over the past few days, views and subscribers have been up massively, so if you could just keep that going, perhaps share this with your friends and family, it would be appreciated massively. Another thing which is appreciated massively is the amount of people who have been joining the Discord recently. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically like a chat room where we can talk about all kinds of stocks, and the link to that is down in the description if you want to join. It's completely free, but I think it's interesting that so many people have joined now, so I think it's really going to start to liven up soon, and I think it's great people are joining, so continue to come and join. Feel free, feel welcome, it's great there. Right, so let's have a quick look. So let me give you the rundown on what's going to happen in this episode. First, we're just going to have a look at what the share price has done. Then we're going to have a quick look at some important news which is about to come out very soon. And then we're just going to have a quick look at a forecast and a few financial reports. So obviously it's basically incorporating everything that you need to know. So let's start off actually by looking at what the company does. So obviously, if you follow this company, you will know it's another electric vehicle manufacturing company. This case, they are producing small, like last-minute delivery vans. So it's kind of an interesting one which we have not looked at before. And this is what we talked about before in so many episodes when we looked at Workhorse. The sense that not a lot of companies, if any companies, are doing what this company is doing. They also have the drone technology, but that's something else. Mainly, the two products are these trucks. You can see them on screen, of course. If you want to go over to Workhorse website itself, you can do that and have a quick look at them, but you know what they are if you are following the company anyway. So yeah, potentially a huge market sector there. Obviously, news about the USPS contract has not come out recently, and I think that's one of the reasons why the share price has been taking such a hit over the past few months. I think another reason is what happened with Nikola and the fraud over there. I think that's got a lot of people worried about companies like this in general, so I think that both those things have kind of had an influence on the price. Obviously, now we have Joe Biden as a president. I think he's looking towards more electric friendly solutions anyway to help the environment. And I think under those, kind of pretenses, this company does have potential. So important things to note is Q3 earnings are coming out at 10 a.m. I think that's tomorrow. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Sorry, it's the 9th of November. So it's the 9th of November when that is going to come out. And we'll just have to see whether this is positive or negative. And obviously, if it's positive, it will have a great effect, and if it's negative, it may just continue that sell-off. We'll just have to wait until the 9th to see. But yeah, let's have a look at what we can see from the past. So today, or rather Friday, because it's a Sunday today, we are basically flat, to be honest, not really too much to report. Had a big dip from open to about 10 a.m. This went down to about $16.85. So, you can see it's been relatively flat for even the past day or so. And this really does show out in the, 5-day period, as it just looks flat in relation to some of the others on the graph. So let's have a quick rundown of the previous working week. So on the previous working week, we started off on Monday at basically 1636, and we have actually seen highs this week all the way up at about 1856 before we saw a big sell-off or a relatively small sell-off, but obviously from a percentage point that is actually quite a bit. This took us down to 1634, so you can see what happened there. Then we just start to see this big rise up until about 1757, and then from there we took a small sell-off and we were flat all of Friday. So interesting to see, and I think a lot of that is due to what's happening on the 9th of November. People aren't necessarily going to be looking to buy this at the minute until they see what does happen with this one, so we'll just have to wait until that does come out. But yeah, on the past month, we are significantly in the red again. Like I said, on the last Friday, I think it was about Helion. It might have been about another stock, but Helion is kind of following a similar pattern in the fact that it's been selling off so drastically. And of course, this is kind of following that pattern. And I said, I don't know what we're going to see after that day when it was actually positive on the Thursday, but it looked like it sold off again. So we'll just have to see what this next month and week has in store. So obviously, looking at the past 6 months or so, we can see that we saw this big rise up here as it went onto the market, bigger rise as hype built up around the USPS contract, and as nothing came out about that, it generally speaking started to sell off relatively slowly. And of course, now we're just going to have a quick look at the financials subsequently. So we do actually have this 5-year financial summary. So if we look on this, unfortunately, it only ends in 2018, so it's missing off about 2 years from where we're at now, and that is unfortunate, but we can still get a reading from this one. So basically, we're not going to go into this one too much. We're just going to have a quick look at these total revenue figures over here, and what we can tell is revenue was generally speaking increasing from about 2014 to 2017. Not 100% sure what happened in 2018, but there we go. So let's have a quick look at who is actually holding this company. So when we have a quick look at who's holding the company, we can see most of these people, if not all of these people, are selling. So there's basically 7 pages to look at. So if you want to go and have a quick look over on money.cnn and just type in Workhorse, you can find out which one of these companies are invested in this stock. So if we just have a quick look though, quite a few of them do look to be selling on this one, shorting it, and I think that's very interesting to see. But yeah, if we have a quick look, we can see some names which we may be familiar with up there, and of course, like I said, if you want to have a quick look into this one, you can do that yourself. You may see something which you know about, but basically what we can understand is a lot of institutions, whether buying or selling, are basically in this one, and I find that quite interesting to see, because with a lot of the other companies, there are not, generally speaking, too many institutions in on it. So with this one having quite a few in there, I find that potentially to be a good thing, but a lot of them are shorting. However, when we go to page 2 or 3 of 7, it does look like a lot more are positive, so it's kind of mixed in opinion on where this one is going, but nevertheless, we can go on what we have seen, and that is about a 500% increase on the year to date. So let's finish off with a quick forecast on the next few years, if not the next 12 months. So in the next 12 months, we have 4 analysts looking at this company. They have a median estimate of approximately $26 exactly. They have a high estimate of 27, a low of 23. So you can see is quite close in all of these 4 people's opinion. I think that the variation is about, $5 or a little bit more dollars. So obviously $5 difference roughly. So not really even expecting too much growth. However, it is important to note there are only 4 people looking at this one this time. We have seen more people looking at companies in the past. So it's not really too much of a, widespread opinion. It's just 4 people. So it can be swayed very easily, because obviously each person makes up one fourth of the equation. So obviously each person accounts to 1/4. It's not necessarily the most open view and 100% trustworthy. I mean, yes, they might have a good opinion, but the more people, the better. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's have a quick look at what this represents in a percentage increase. So on the high end, we're looking at about 56.2% increase. The middle represents about another 50%, and the low is at 33%. So what does this actually mean? So like I said, only 4 analysts which are looking at this, but what they are saying generally is that this is probably going to go up in the next few years. So that is generally speaking a good thing to see, as a lot of people are looking towards, things that are going up. So we have already seen what the actual, institutions think of this one and what they are doing with it. And of course, if you want to have a quick look at that, you can do it on the website. If you want to look at all of the pages, all 7 of them, I wasn't going to waste your time with it. But let's have a look at what the 5 this time analysts are saying when it comes to a buy rating. So the general, opinion is to buy. So I find that interesting to see. And if we want a quick breakdown on what the people are saying in regards to buy and sell, out of the 5 people, 3 of them are saying to buy. The other 2 are saying to hold. No people are saying to sell, and none are saying to expect an underperform. An underperforming figure for the next year or so. So that's decent to see. Generally speaking, the whole aim looking at this one, according to these 5 analysts, are saying buy it. So they have a positive perspective on this one. It will be interesting to see if that does come through. So let's have a quick look at some other figures, and of course this is one of these ones which I find quite important, and I think once this does get beaten and does go up to positive figures, we will see an increase in the price, and that is of course the earnings per share. So if we have a quick look at the motion this has been taking over the past years, if we have a quick look right now, we are at minus 10 cents. So if we have a quick look into the past few years, however, we can see that this Q2 of 2020 has kind of boosted it, and it has been on its way up, which is of course a good thing. Once it gets negative, or I mean, once it gets positive, sorry, it means that the company is making money per share in the business. And I think that is, of course, a great thing, and that will basically make a lot more people happy to go and buy this one. However, looking at what we have seen in the past, we are looking at a linear path, and we're looking at what analysts are saying for the future. They are saying that it's potentially going to hit zero, maybe not even by Q4 of 2020. So, of course, that's the end of this year. Towards December time, so we'll just have to see if that does come true and it actually ends up going positive, and if it does, that will probably be a good thing for it. Anyway, sales are at 1.8 million, so not really the biggest figures for a business like this, but you can see that sales figures have been on their way up when we look at reported earnings. So reported earnings have been up about 7% for every year, since 2016. For some reason, 2018 is an exception where it doesn't say anything, but looking at what the future holds, they're saying 2020 has quite a lot of variation. We should be looking at something positive though, and 2021 should also be a small but positive year on top of that. So we'll just have to see if either of these do come true at the end of the year and the end of next year as well for the later one. Anyway, reported sales, it does not look like there's too many figures on that, but looking at Q3 and Q4 of 2020, they're saying these are going to be some big figures in relation to what we have seen in the past few months, but of course they don't look like they've been reported anyway. But yeah, we're looking at an increase to 20,000 in Q4, starting off on about 5,000 in Q3, so we'll have to see if that one does come true as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick analysis, quick look at this one again. I just thought we'd give it a quick glimpse over, quick look at once again. So I hope you did enjoy. If you want to come and join us on Discord, feel free to. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. It wouldn't go amiss. So thank you for your time. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.